Okay, I want to spend a minute talking about revolution, because a lot of the things we've heard this evening have kind of skirted around this idea. But I want to talk about the big revolution, the thing that frames all of this, the thing that's going to frame all of our futures and the way we think about everything. It's kind of serious, but it's also fascinating and interesting, and it matters, so we're going to talk about it. And here is what the big revolution of our time is all about. It is that there is a better way to be. There is a better way to organize our lives on this planet. We know, because we've got the evidence, that things would be better if we could organize our energy and our transport without polluting fossil fuels. Things would be better if our ecosystems were healthier. Things would be better if the world was a fairer place. We can see lots of ways. We can see lots of ways in which all of this, all of us, things could be better, right? And that's the revolution, is that we are now at a point where we can see where we've come to. We've got enough knowledge to go forward, and we know there's something better. But not only do we know there's something better there, we also know that getting there is urgent. This is not a pipe dream. Things like this are going to have to become reality very quickly, and one of those already is. Some of you will know I'm a physicist. I study the ocean. I'm still in the mechanical engineering department. It does make some kind of sense. But I want to talk about this big picture, this big framing, how to think about this revolution that we are going through right now, all of it together. And it starts with planet Earth, because that's what I spend most of my time thinking about. And so just very simple, engineering, a model of planet Earth that you would find if you were simplifying things a lot. It's kind of a physicist model of planet Earth. And basically, there's two rules of life on Earth. One of them is that the energy flows through. It comes from the sun, it goes into Earth systems, it moves around through the oceans, the atmosphere, life might hang around for a bit. The Earth is just a reservoir. Eventually, it gets radiated away into space. What goes in is equal to what comes out, which is why Earth doesn't get hotter, except at the moment we're putting carbon dioxide in the atmosphere, slows down the flow down, slows down the flow out. So, there's a delta E, however you want to describe your energy, and the temperature's going up, right? But the fundamental, that's a small thing on top of a big number, but it makes a big difference. So anyway, rule number one of living on Earth is that energy flows through the system. Rule number two is that atoms go round and round. Whatever Elon Musk thinks of mining meteorites and Mars, fundamentally, the atoms we have on this planet are the atoms that we've got. It's a closed system for matter, for stuff. And so this is it, right? These are the rules. And not only are we looking and living on this system, we're part of it. And this is the moment when humanity realized it was part of the system. This is going back to 1968, Apollo 8. This is the mission before they landed on the moon. Bill Anders took this photograph looking over they were orbiting the moon, not standing on top of it, looking over the surface of the moon, looking out at Earth. And this was the moment when humanity saw, that's us. That small, what's Carl Sagan called a pale blue dot, that's us, that's all we've got. And so that sounds depressing, but that's not the way to think about it. The way to think about it is we are part of this planet. All of us, the atoms that are in us have been in dinosaurs and atmospheres and rocks. We are part of this system. We don't sit on top of it. And so the question we should wake up with every morning is, how do we choose to be part of this system, right? We've got enough knowledge now that we can look at all the complicated things and we can say, how do we do it? And the way I tend to look at the world is I think each of us have three life support systems. We've got our own body, and of course we have people in MechEng who are thinking about biomedical engineering, so we've got that bit covered. Part two of our second life support system is planet Earth, and we have people thinking about energy and energy flows, and you've got me, so we've got that bit covered. And the third life support system is infrastructure, that web of flows of electrons and water and everything else that keeps us alive, and we definitely work on that. So this is how we have to think about it. It's how are we going to organize our three life support systems in order to be sustainable citizens of planet Earth. And of course, the Earth mostly organizes itself. It's far more sophisticated than we give it credit for. So we've got to change, right? We can see that we've got problems with what we do now. And what I want to tell you is that the point I really want to make here is that sometimes people think it's easy to sit in a department, perhaps, do your maths lectures or whatever, do the studying and think, oh, well, all of this, it's kind of at some point in the future, the revolution is going to start. It's here. I'm telling you, it's already happening, right? And this is the framing. So these things here, these are, you'll recognize some of the people in this. The inventions that are going to start us on this path, they already exist. the companies that are going to start building this future, they already exist. The systems thinking about what our system is going to shift to, it already exists. So that's not to say that there isn't lots more work to be done, but it is to say that this is the project of our era, the question of how we choose to be part of planet Earth, how we learn our place in the planetary system, and how what we do with it is we don't give up on things, right? We don't have to give up on the things that are important to us, which fundamentally is not probably a new gadget. It's things like friendship and security and community, and having your curiosity satisfied. Those are the values, and we don't have to give those up. We just have to be agnostic about the means we use to get there. So, perhaps the way to be happy isn't actually, I don't know, three new jumpers this week or whatever it is, whatever clothes you go out buying. It's just spending time with friends, doing something that's a little bit more sustainable. So this is how to think about this revolution. It's already moving along, and we're being carried along with it. We cannot ignore it in anything we do. This is the first question as engineers that we should ask of any project. When we look at our 3 life support systems, whichever one we're working on, how are we making something that will integrate into that system, integrate into our life support system, and make us better citizens of planet Earth, because that is basically the only option we've got. We'll have the discussion about why Mars isn't happening another time. It involves quite a lot of cancer. So I'm serious. I once really depressed the astronomer royal, because Sir Martin Rees, who's a lovely guy, and he'd been talking about he would love to go to Mars, and I'd just been to visit the labs where they studied the cosmic radiation that means that by the time you get to Mars, with any current technology anyone can imagine, you'll have a 3rd chance of having terminal cancer. And Martin Rees he's an old guy, he's lovely, and he said afterwards, he came up to me and he said, Helen, is it really true, the thing? And I was like, yes, and he went, oh, and walked away, and oh my God, I've just broken his dreams. Anyway, so going to Mars, not a thing. So not for any sensible thinking about how to live on the planet. So the point is, this revolution, this framing, this is already happening. This is the thing that should lie underneath everything. And so basically, that's it. That's what I have to say. See yourselves as part of this revolution. Look at the systems of the world and don't see the system. See what it contributes to. See whether it makes people happier or more secure or safer or healthier. See that aim. And then, as engineers, let's work out how to get there, and let's really think deeply about it and not just assume we have to do things because people did them last week. That is the revolution. Enjoy it.